Going on Jerome's. So, yeah, the Vikings allegedly lost to the Lions on Sunday. Is a thorough and utter domination, and there's very clearly the better team that won by 2 points with a last-second field goal. Anyways, but we were still here. We were still loud, and we were still proud. Vikings going to take care of their business on Thursday Night Football, short week against the Rams. And I think we'll see the Lions a couple times. Again, NFC title game, historic U.S. Bank Stadium. Bring it on. But look around the NFL, the rest of Week 7, 2 teams on the bye, the Bears. And the Bears on the bye probably facing the best defense that they faced in the last 3 weeks. But, and then also the Cowboys. Cowboys had the bye for 2 weeks. At least we didn't lose the Lions 47-9 or whatever. But recapping the games thus far, 2 Monday night games. Thursday night football. So weird. After Sunday games, Thursday night just seems so far away. Anyways, but the Broncos put the bang thing on the Saints, and hey, congratulations. Stupid ass Sean Payton. Awesome. So Bo Nix is terrible. Like, we can get that out of the way. The defense is legit, and they did it even without Surtain. But Rattler looked like a rookie quarterback. And also, hey, in like May, June, when you're bored as hell, like baseball hadn't really gotten going yet, and you're just like, I would trade my left piece of anatomy for a crappy Thursday night game. This was it. that was the one. Broncos and Saints was just no bueno. Borderline unwatchable, but it was nice to see Javonte Williams doing something. And the Saints are just decimated by injury. The Rashid Shaheed one is really rough. And also, they're like in not even cap hell, just like the seventh ring of hell. For the next couple of years. It's going to be rough. I don't even know how they'll field the team. Anyways, early game on Sunday over in London, the last of 3 London games, the Patriots and the Jaguars. The Patriots, I don't know, man. There's so many damn issues with the Patriots. I mean, Drake May, he fought the good fight, threw 2 touchdowns, and he was good in spurts, didn't look great in spots. Offensive line obviously has an issue, but I don't know, like the Jaguars got up off the mat and they turned things around. I mean, Trevor Lawrence looked like ass thank you. Then all of a sudden they exploded for 22 points in the second quarter. Brian Thomas Jr. looked really damn good. Tank Bigsby had 2 touchdowns. So well, Doug did get the vote of confidence from Shad Khan. I thought it could have been very plausible that he would have been fired on the way home. But I don't know. Keep his job for another week. There you go. You got the Seahawks going into Atlanta and just completely getting off the mat. Because Seahawks started at 3-0, lost 3 in a row in not very good fashion, and then went in and really took it to the Falcons. And it was interesting. So you could tell which side the NFL favors by which highlights are put out there. And I was just passively keeping tabs on the highlights that NFL was putting out there as we were watching the Vikings sort of implode. But you would see from the highlights, like Kyle Pitts with an amazing catch. Oh, Bijan Robinson does it again. Oh, Kirk Cousins finds Drake London in the end zone. There are very few Seahawks highlights. So just by what they put out there, I assume that the Falcons were beating the Seahawks by 20, but no, it was the other way around. And defensively, they had a strip sack. I mean, Kurt did not have a good day. Plus, he had a bloody nose there at the end. Man. So it is what it is. But Falcons came back down to earth. Seahawks got their groove back, and they're off to the races yet again. Our guy, Kenneth Walker. So funny. Kenneth Walker, his birthday was on Sunday, and it turned 24. Fantastic. And he had popped up on the injury report with an illness after Friday night, which we know. I feel like we have a good idea what was going on. Had a little birthday get-together. Wasn't feeling too great, but Jordan flu game. Magical. Having 2 touchdowns. It's great. They got the Titans and the Bills. Titans actually led like 10-7 in this game, but then actually maybe 10-0 in this game, but not so much. Will Levis, unfortunately we did not have a Will Levis moment because he was dinged up. Mason Rudolph was not good. Josh Allen looked pretty damn good against the Titans, putting up 34 points to 10. Also, Keon Coleman, $125. Amari Cooper, first touchdown, first catch as a Bill was a touchdown. Didn't even know the play. When Allen checked on the line of scrimmage, he went to Keon Coleman, was like, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure what to do with my hands. Oh, just catch this. There you go. And the Bills get back on track at 5-2. The Titans, hey, Tennessee, Come here. If you wanted to give us Jeffrey Simmons, wouldn't be mad. Wouldn't be mad at all. Hey, how about Pete Skoronski? Yeah. Then you got the Bengals versus the Browns, the Battle of Ohio. So, story of this game: Deshaun Watson popping his Achilles, and lots of people had takes on stuff, but I'm glad that they're moving to a different quarterback. Yeah, and also Jameis. So I felt like last year with the Saints, Jameis would have given the Saints a better shot to win. And with the Browns, obviously Jameis is the best quarterback. And what's interesting is that they actually made Jameis the third emergency quarterback and had DTR as QB2 in the game just so Browns fans would shut up because they wanted Watson off the field. But now I actually think that Deshaun Watson is done in the NFL because it popped the Achilles. He's going to get paid from the Browns either way. I don't think another team is going to touch him. I think he's done. I think he's I think he's a PR nightmare, and like even the fans of the team that signs him, like it's a Faustian bargain. Like I don't think that they can do it. All right, so I think Deshaun Watson has played his last snap in the NFL. There you go. But for the Bengals, I mean, sort of a near-run thing. Well, not so much because Jameis made this thing look closer in the end. But I mean, Burrow just seems off, doesn't he? Just a little off this season. Like you can't really put your finger on it. But our guy T. Higgins, 4 for 82 and a touchdown, looking good there. Also, Jamar did like the Iverson Tyronn Lue step over on the sideline against Greg Newsome. It's just like, why? Like, there's one thing to play with a chip and bravado, but there's another thing just to be obstinate. And I think that's much more the latter. Yeah. The Texans, I was told that the Texans were good, but they went into Green Bay, and unfortunately, Brandon McManus, brand new Packer, kicked the game-winning field goal at the end. It happens, man. Mixon had himself a big game, $115 and 2. It's funny. He tried to do the Lambeau leap into the Texan fan that was on the sideline. And then Packers fans like, no. They like shoved him slightly. They dumped some beer on him, But what's frustrating is that C.J. Stroud was ass. Thank you. He did not have a very good game. Stephon Diggs didn't have a good game, even though Diggs was beefing with Jaire Alexander. It's funny. Like after the game, Diggs was like, "I will never take the high road," which obviously we and Vikings fans have had thoughts about Diggs. But if he's lining up against Jaire Alexander beefing, I'm all in on Stephon Diggs, man. Like 2 seconds after the Minneapolis Miracle, he's my guy. F Jaire. Yeah. But the Packers going to win. Sure. Whatever. Dolphins. So they're just begging and pleading that Tua's going to be back for week 8, which I don't think that he should, but Mike McDaniel knows that it's the only way that he can win games. So Stu Huntley got hurt in this game, and it was just not good. A-Chan was whatever. Jonnu 7 for 96 and a touchdown. But the larger story is, so the Vikings play the Colts in 2 weeks, week 9, and Anthony Richardson looks like a disaster right now. And I know that we're still creaming in our jeans over that week 1 highlight, his 65-yard flat-footed bomb to Alec Pierce. But Richardson, like, he makes the easy throws look so difficult. Like, placement is not there. Yeah, he's a tank. Yeah, he's athletic, but I just don't see it, man. But also, Jonathan Taylor-Thomas probably going to be healthy for the Vikings game. And also Cooper Kupp probably going to be up for the Rams game. So there you go. It's right. Bring him on. Not scared. Vikings and Lions, whatever. But here's the way I look at it. So the Lions are allegedly the best team in the league. And it took a last-second field goal to beat the Vikings in a spot where the Vikings basically didn't show up in the second quarter. And, the Vikings offense had a chance to salt away the lead and run out the clock, get 2 first downs and win the game. They did not even get 1 first down. And defensively, they got a couple stops in the second half. They needed 1 more. They didn't get it. So sort of is what it is. Then also you got the Eagles going into to New York and just completely decimate. Now, it would have been funny if the Giants would have came back from 28-3, but they didn't. And Saquon, it kind of sucks because Giants fans were chanting Saquon sucks. It's like, it's not his fault. I mean, the Giants could have matched the offer that Philly did, but they didn't, as evidenced by Hard Knocks in season with the Giants and stuff. So I don't know. Like Jalen Hurts has just kind of been unimpressive, right? Even though He didn't really have to do a lot today, but 10 of 14 for a $114 and a touchdown. Saquon had himself a monster game as he knew that he would. Revenge game narratives, a $176 and a tutty. AJ Brown got going as well. Daniel Jones got benched, but really is more because it was a blowout late. So I don't know. Honestly, the Giants look inert. They look uncompetitive, and it wouldn't shock me at all if Daboll and Joe Shane are just fired midseason. Yeah. Raiders. I don't know what to make of the Raiders, man. It's just like they should be competitive, but they're not. Devontae Adams forced his way out. Max Crosby probably looking to do the same. Madison put up 92 yards rushing. Love to see that. Aiden O'Connell got hurt. Minshew did not look very good. And the Rams, the Rams are fighting for their lives right now. It's good that they got to 2-4. Vikings played them out a short week. They're going to be welcoming Cooper Kupp back, but they've had to weather a lot of injuries, especially along the offensive line. Also, no Puka either. But I don't know, like Stafford didn't have a great game. Kyron Williams, tossed one in, but this really was a matchup. I mean, it looked good before the season. Raiders getting all those free agents, but yeah. But also, I feel like if Stafford's probably not going to retire. I feel like the Raiders are going to be a spot for Darnold because, maybe they'll be in play for like Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward or something like that, or Carson Beck. But maybe they should just go all in and shove all their chips in with Darnold. You can see that. Yeah. Panthers are embarrassing. Like honestly, J.C. Horn, Adam Thielen, come on home. Just go do that. I would say take Derek Brown, except he got hurt. Or, hey, Damian Lewis, not Band of Brothers, but the gigantic guard from LSU. Come on in. So the commies, what's interesting is that, all right, so you see this final score, 40-7. You think that Jane Daniels had himself another huge game. He got hurt early, and Mariota was perfectly fine. Like Mariota looked really damn good in spots. Brian Robinson also rumbled for 71 at a touchdown. Scary Terry was quarterback proof in the spot. So I don't know, the Jane Daniels system quarterback, Cliff Kingsbury getting all of his flowers, or did you just get to play the Panthers at home? Right, and if you're a Panthers fan, so you have no cap. Bryce Young is a sunk cost in terms of draft capital, and remember, this team had Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore, and like they had a nucleus a couple of years ago, but it's just been gutted. Right? And hiring a new coach or getting a new GM in here is not the answer. There's no quick fix here. I think it's a systemic issue. I think that ownership needs to go. I don't know, man. Last of the late games. So you got the Chiefs at the Niners. So the Niners playing fast and loose with the injury report again. So Debo apparently has been sick, and he played 3 snaps, and then he's just like, I'm out. Kind of would have been nice to know. Like I don't even have Debo in any fantasy leagues, but you can see why people are pissed, especially like beyond fantasy, but like DFS as well as prop picks. It's kind of a big deal. And also it harkens back to week 1 when they said, like, oh, McCaffrey, questionable. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. It's ridiculous, man. But the Chiefs handled him. Andy Reid off the bye is always sublime. And also, we need to have a conversation. So Mahomes has 6 touchdown passes on the season, 8 interceptions. But the Chiefs are still 6-0. Because Spags in that defense is doing the damn work. Kareem Hunt ran for 78 and had 2 touchdowns. And Purdy was just off. Purdy had 3 interceptions, no touchdown passes, and they're consistently just ending drives where he would just throw a bad pick, like a really, really bad pick. So I don't know, maybe the Vikings broke the Niners because now, that week 2 win, it has a little less shine on it now that the Niners are 3-4. So I don't know, man. And also the Jets. So the Jets were like, hey, our offensive line is bad. Our play calling is bad. Everything is bad, but we'll just get a 31-year-old receiver in here. All right. It's funny. So several people point this out, but Devontae Adams went from a 2-5 team that lost to the Steelers, and then he joined a 2-5 team that lost to the Steelers. that was his last couple of days, but Devontae was inert. Hey, he stopped an interception from becoming a pick 6. Yeah, that torn hamstring looking really damn good now. But Rodgers was just straight up bad, and they had a lead at halftime, and then they just were blanked in the second half. And Rodgers needs to be blamed for all of this because he's the de facto GM right now, and he's the one making these moves. He got Saleh fired, and he's he stomached Hackett being demoted, and also he pulled off the Devontae Adams trade, but the offensive line is terrible. Defensively, they're having issues. Hassan Reddick isn't the solution to anything. He should be traded if they want draft capital because this is a lost season. They're done. They're finito. It's done. Steelers, so they got a lot of flack going from Fields to Russ. I still think that they did Fields dirty, but Russ is fine. Threw for a couple touchdowns and looked he kind of looked like old Russ, but at like 70% arm strength. Like there was a lot of throws that were severely underthrown, and Pickens really bailed them out. Pickens had himself a bust-out game, 5 for $111 and a touchdown. The running game got going, and frankly, like this was an old-school ass-whooping. Second half, Steelers really got rolling, and they were good to go there. And then 2 Monday night games. It's actually a good slate. So you got the Ravens at the Buccaneers. That's going to be a big-time game. I like the Bucs at home as a home dog, but the Ravens, you don't know what you're going to get with the Ravens. Like 0-2 to start, 4-0 since, but this is going to be a good-ass game. It's going to be a tough, physical, good-ass game. Love it. Chargers and the Cardinals. So the Chargers have been underachieving. The Cardinals have certainly been underachieving, but I don't know. I'll also take the 1.5 at home. And hopefully Kyler and Trey McBride can get a little something going for my fantasy team. But that's it. Take a look around the league. Week 7 recap. Heading into Monday night. Your thoughts are thoughts. Let us know. Comment section, you know what to do. Skull production value.